For guitarists, that quest for the perfect tone, it can feel like a lifelong journey.
Oh, absolutely. Always tweaking, buying gear.
Right.
Yeah.
Experimenting, chasing that sound that just
Yeah.
feels right. It's often rich, full, complex, maybe, but without obvious distortion.
Yeah, not necessarily high gain, just
Yeah,
better.
exactly. And people spend years, maybe throw a lot of complex gear at it.
Hmm.
But what if I told you there's this tiny, really unassuming pedal? For over a decade now, it's been seen as kind of a secret weapon.
A shortcut, almost.
Yeah, a shortcut to getting that subtle but massive tonal impact.
You're talking about the EP Booster.
I am. Today we're doing a deep dive into the Xotic EP Booster. Came out in 2009 from Xotic Effects. They're based in California.
Right.
And this little thing, it just took off, became one of the most loved boost pedals pretty much worldwide.
It really did. Quite the phenomenon.
So our mission today, let's unpack how this one pedal got such legendary status,
Yeah.
and maybe why it's such a great example of understanding those subtle tonal enhancements.
The ones you don't always notice are there.
Exactly. So if you've ever wondered how your favorite players get that really rich, complex sound, but you can't quite put your finger on what they're using,
Yeah.
this deep dive is definitely for you.
And the story starts with the name, right? The EP in EP Booster.
Yeah, what's that about?
It's not just random letters. It stands for Echoplex.
Ah, the tape echo machine.
Exactly. Specifically, the Echoplex EP3 model from the early 1970s.
Okay, famous delay unit.
Davis delay, yes. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It was also renowned for its preamp section, how it colored the guitar tone.
Oh, interesting. So not just the echo part.
Not just the echo. Even with the delay effect completely bypassed, guitarists found that just running their signal through the EP3 added this musical something.
Like a secret sauce.
Pretty much. And that sonic magic is why guys like Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen, Eric Johnson.
Wow, heavy hitters.
Oh, yeah. Brian May, Andy Summers, David Gilmour, they all famously use the EP3.
And not always for the delay.
Often, just for that preamp character, it had this discrete FET-based preamp stage.
FET, field effect transistor.
Right. And it added specific things. Warmth, a kind of mild compression, a slight mid-range bump. It was really musical.
Made it sweeter.
Yeah. Perceived sweetening, maybe some harmonic enhancement, and definitely better presence and clarity. It just made the guitar sound bigger, fuller.
Okay, I get it. So the EP booster pedal was basically trying to capture that sound.
Precisely. To offer that magical EP3 preamp character, but, in a small, affordable, reliable pedal. No tape loops needed.
Right, much easier to integrate onto a pedal board. So, okay, we know the inspiration was huge, the EP3 preamp. But how did Xotic actually manage to bottle that lightning?
Yeah, that's the clever part.
Because when you look at the EP booster, it's tiny. A mini enclosure, just one knob outside labeled boost.
Up to plus 20 dBs gain. Pretty clean gain, too.
It seems almost too simple for that kind of complex tonal shaping we're talking about, doesn't it?
It does look minimalistic, yeah. But that's kind of the genius of it. Inside, there's some really smart engineering going on.
Ah, okay. So what's under the hood?
It's built around a discrete JFET circuit. That's a junction field effect transistor.
Similar tech to the original EP3 preamp's FET.
In principle, yes.
Yeah.
And it's carefully tuned to replicate that EP3 character, the warmth, the subtle compression, that tube-like feel almost.
Okay, so the core circuit aims for that sound. But you mentioned flexibility, with only one knob.
Right, the flexibility is hidden inside. Internal DIP switches, little tiny switches on the circuit board.
What do they do?
There are usually two. One is a bright switch. Adds a gentle treble boost, just a little sparkle and clarity if you need it.
Useful for darker guitars, maybe? Or humbuckers?
Could be, yeah. Or just cutting through a mix a bit more. Then there's a bass boost switch.
Okay, the opposite end.
Exactly. Enhances the low-end warmth. Really nice, say, for single coil pickups that can sometimes sound a bit thin, or maybe for a brighter amp.
Gotcha. So you can fine-tune it to your specific rig.
You can. And it's got true bypass switching, which means when the pedal's off, your signal goes straight through, bypassing the internal circuitry completely. So no tone suck, no change to your sound when it's disengaged.
That's huge for tone purists. Very important feature.
Definitely. And then there's the voltage thing.
Right. You mentioned 9 to 18 volts. What's the deal with running it at 18 volts?
Yeah, the 18-volt option, that's a big plus for some players. It basically increases the pedal's headroom.
Headroom? Like more clean volume before it distorts.
Exactly. More dynamic range, more clarity. It just feels a bit more open and responsive. especially if you're hitting it with a hot signal or stacking pedals. It allows the pedal to react more dynamically to how hard or soft you play.
So more articulation possible. Interesting.
Yeah, for tone aficionados, that higher voltage can be a real game changer.
So this pedal comes out in 2009. How quickly did people catch on?
Pretty fast, actually. It seemed to hit a nerve with both pros and amateurs. And what's really interesting is how consistent the design has stayed.
They haven't really messed with the core circuit much.
Not really, no. There have been, limited editions, different colors, chrome, white, gold, black, red sparkle, that kind of thing.
Collector's items, maybe?
And some rare artist signature versions. But the fundamental circuit, the sound, has remained remarkably consistent.
And those internal DIP switches, they've stayed the same too.
Yep, that core functionality is still there. Though it's worth noting, the very earliest ones were often marked just 9V-DC. The 18V capability became more widely advertised later on.
Ah, okay. Good to know. So who are some of the big names that really embraced this pedal?
Oh, the list is pretty long. It became a mainstay for a lot of respected players. Andy Timmons, for instance.
Great player. What does he use it for?
He often talks about adding harmonic complexity and depth, just making everything sound richer. Scott Henderson is another one.
Fusion legend.
Integral to his smooth, dynamic lead tones. Oznoy uses it for clarity and that harmonic depth, too.
Right.
Josh Smith almost always seems to have one on his board, and even someone like John Mayer.
Really? Mayer, too?
Yeah, he's been spotted using it,
Mm-hmm.
probably for enriching both his clean and slightly driven sounds. It just works well in so many contexts.
It sounds incredibly versatile for such a simple pedal.
It really is. Became a go-to for countless session players, touring pros, bedroom guitarists, you name it. You could argue it's one of the most influential modern boost pedals out there.
That's a strong statement. But it sounds like it has the reputation to back it up. But, is it always the right tool? Is there a time when maybe the subtlety isn't what someone needs?
That's a fair point. And yeah, its strength is its subtlety. If you're looking for a pedal to completely change your sound, like a heavy fuzz or a really dramatic modulation effect or a wah pedal, this isn't it.
It's not an effect in that sense.
Exactly. It's an enhancer. It makes what you already have sound better, richer, more present. It doesn't transform the core character dramatically.
So if someone plugs it in expecting, I don't know, a huge distortion boost, they might be underwhelmed initially.
They might, yeah. But if they're chasing that elusive more factor for their fundamental tone, that feeling that something's missing, often the EP Booster is exactly what fills that gap.
Right, making your good tone great.
Precisely. And this success, it wasn't just about Xotic selling pedals. It actually had a broader impact on the industry.
How so?
Well, the EP Booster really helped push this whole idea of the preamp as pedal into the mainstream.
Ah, pedals designed just to replicate preamp sounds.
Yeah. After the EP Booster took off, you saw a lot more manufacturers releasing pedals specifically aiming to emulate vintage preamps, especially tape echo preamps or even studio console preamps.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. Think of pedals like the Catalan-bred Bell Epoch, which emulates a whole Echoplex, including the preamp. They even released just the preamp section later as the Epoch Boost.
Ah, directly inspired then.
Seems likely. Or the Chase Tone Seeker preamp, another one focused on that EP3 magic. Plus, countless discussions, DIY kits, boutique builders all started exploring that EP3 circuit sound. It really validated that concept.
The idea that a pedal's job could just be to improve the fundamental signal quality and character.
Exactly. Not just adding an obvious effect.
And for Xotic effects themselves, this must have been huge.
Oh, definitely. The EP Booster's enduring success really cemented their reputation. They were already known for great compact pedals like the RC Booster, AC Booster, the BB preamp.
The rest of their booster preamp line?
Right. But the EP Booster became arguably their most iconic product. Really put them on the map in a big way as builders of top-tier, compact, tone-shaping tools.
And it's still going strong today.
Absolutely. Still in production, still highly regarded. You constantly see it recommended on forums. You spot it on pro pedal boards, in rig rundowns. It's often called a must-have.
Wow. Quite a legacy for such a little pedal. So let's maybe recap this deep dive. The Xotic EP Booster arriving in 2009. It really did more than just boost volume.
Much more.
It became this essential tool for shaping tone, proving that maybe sometimes the magic is in refining what's already there, not just adding more stuff on top.
Couldn't agree more. Its impact is clear. You've got careful design, that faithful nod to the legendary Echoplex EP3 preamp.
The source of the magic.
Right. And delivered with this elegant simplicity. It genuinely reshaped how many guitarists think about boost pedals.
Showing that subtle changes can have the biggest musical impact.
Definitely. It captured that elusive vintage preamp vibe, that mojo, and put it in a box that was accessible, reliable, and tiny.
So, thinking about all this,
Mm-hmm.
what does it really mean for you listening right now? I think the genius of the EP Booster isn't just that it makes your guitar louder or sound better, it's how it subtly changed the conversation around tone itself.
That's a great way to put it.
It proved that getting that really rich, sought-after sound wasn't always about piling on more distortion or more effects. Sometimes it's about precisely enhancing your core signal.
Perfecting the foundation.
Yeah. It kind of reminds us that, in sound, maybe in other areas too, the most profound impact can sometimes come from the most understated touch, right? But one that's perfectly placed.
True innovation through refinement, almost. And respecting the past.
Exactly. So maybe next time you're listening closely to your favorite guitar track, or even working on something yourself, keep an ear out for those subtle enhancements, that feeling of more without knowing exactly why.
And maybe think about how small, well-considered changes might make a big difference in whatever you're pursuing.
A little bit often goes a long way.